everybody. That was a very quick meeting, thankfully. Let's get right back to it. I might want to start this music from the beginning. Oh, we've got our big-ass set design. We've got our action sequence. Let's go. Let's sort these pages. Take out all the streams that we're not using. One. Two. Three. Four. We need to make a between 3 and 4. 5. Come. And then he's gonna squash. And then kabow. This is the perfect music for this. We're doing an action scene. We've got action scene music going. I'm hyped. Are you guys hyped? Let's go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make that squash thing. Maybe I should number these. One, two, three, four. With 3 and 4 with question marks, we're probably gonna clean those. Oh, let's. There we go. 5 question mark. Gonna clean that. Why? With the knee still up. Little kitty smirk. I'm animating with, like, keeping in mind that my boss is probably going to do this at 1 FPS instead of 10. So I'm gonna make a tweak version that's at 10 FPS. Because this shot's too cool to not, right? But I'm gonna design it in such a way that it still looks really cool at 1 FPS. With very clear keyframes. That, like, still describe the motion in a really neat way. He's, like, coiling into the motion. It's a squash, but, like, the same way that a spring would, you know? Like, he started this out really straight, he's, like, crumpling up, but then he's gonna spring back, wham! Use all that momentum on the butt, slingshot him across the room. Like, in that kick. I want people to be able to, when they see this shot, be like, oh, the animator had fun with this. Because I am. I'm having so much fun. And I think that a product is better when you can tell the person making it is enjoying themselves. Belly comment. Circ there. Tail out. And, like, his tail and hand are still in that stretch phase, while the rest of his body is going into squish. like, here, it's all stretch. Here, it's all squish. Maybe we should start, I'm gonna start calling it that. I'm gonna start calling it stretch and squish instead of squash and stretch. But it's a squish, right? Like, you call it a squash, but squash has a different vibe to squish. Squish is like when you press against something. Like one of those stress balls, or like one of those like round things that you squish it, and like the gel like kind of makes the stretchy parts kind of go out. It's like that. Like, squash and stretch still, like that's the official word, right? But it was based on language that is less modern, so calling it squash and squish. Like, I mean, stretch and squish. Or stretch and... yeah. Like, makes it more, like, you understand it better as a modern audience. Ooh, this is funky. Look at him! Here we go. Okay, here we go. Look at him go. Now, just to make sure that it works in like all the same frame. Oh, this needs a set anchor. Quite a few of these in betweens. But it's criminal. Here's where things are getting a little tricky. Because in order to stretch as much as I need to after this squish, I need to move the camera up a bit. Okay. Let's do some fades. That is the wrong queen. Let's get the right one. Okay, so hands, foot, spring, there. That. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Other job had messages for me. Changing everything around on, like, a dime. That's all sorted out. Okay. Good. Let's choose the music that doesn't give me as much anxiety. Is it all of this instrument? You know, I might want to just choose a different genre of music. Let's see, something that gives me energy. Pixabay! My homie. Actually, wait, no. The base of his tail wouldn't be visible at that angle. What is up, Wafflet? Nothing much. What is up with you? I am doing animation. I don't know if you're still here, but it's great to see ya. Oh, that was quick. Nightclub Mayhem? It's a short film that my boss, Henry Mockingbird, is making. I'm one of the lead animators on it, and it's going to be a completely traditionally animated, frame-by-frame, rubber hose style animated short film. Like, this guy's using celluloid, like, old school stuff. And it stars these, like, cartoony characters, and it's, like, Alexander the cat, our main character here, is one of the main waiters at this nightclub, the Paint and Ink Club. And Brutus here, who's a big, mean customer for the establishment, like, he's been harassing the staff, he's been making passes at like, the female workers there, he's a bad dude overall. And right now, we're at kind of the climax of the film, almost, where there's this big fight scene breaking out between Brutus and Alexander. Brutus obviously started it, but right now, Alexander is making Brutus taste defeat and comeuppance. And it is coming to a YouTube channel near you this holiday season. So we're almost done with it. I'm gonna give that a heart, because I don't know if I did yet. And right now what I'm doing to keep my place, because this shot's going to be a moving camera shot, is I'm drawing the set design in each frame as kind of like giving myself some anchor points. So I know where in the set each frame belongs. I think now's a good time to check our frames. I'm going to slip this away for now. And usually I would have an animation peg bar and a hole punch to make holes in these frames to, you know, line them up correctly, but because it's a moving camera shot, I'm not doing that. Just, like, winging it. So... also makes checking my frames a lot more difficult, though. Okay, squish, and I think I'm gonna do the stretch next. So I'm gonna put most of these back. And I'm gonna tween all this later. Right now I'm just figuring out my keys, which are the big pose frames. Piece of paper here. Keep that camera moving. And where did I put my favorite pencil? Gosh darn it. Ah, there it is. I like it because it's got a big grip. You can refill every part of it. So, actually, let's do one more frame of squish. And let's go back to Land of Fans and Music, so that the music will autoplay. And the Land of Fans and Music is a Homestuck fan music collection. So it's all completely royalty free and copyright free, and I'm using that right now because usually I would use a YouTube live stream of copyright free music, but YouTube has been dumb lately and making it so I have to click things between each song. So I'm just Bandcamp. Bandcamp good. Here's a little trick I'm doing to make squishing easier on myself. It's not as tough as you'd think. Like, that's the, like, frame by frame hand drawn. That's actually how I prefer doing my animation. It's the pencil on paper part that's, like, if anything, trips me up. And even then, sometimes it feels more natural. Especially for a dynamic camera angle shot like this, it'd be easier to do in 3D where I could just move the assets, right? But most, like, good-looking 2D animation that you see these days is frame-by-frame hand-drawn. It's just frame-by-frame hand-drawn in the computer. Usually you'd have, like, a drawing tablet so you can draw directly onto the screen, and pen pressure so that the lighter your pen is on the paper, the lighter the line is, and the darker, like, the thicker the line is. But thanks for your concern. I like it, you know? I'm going to make these elements go out a bit because we're squishing it, but we want to maintain volumes, right? So it should still be the same size, even if all the weight is put in different places. And the hair would move forward a bit because, like, reactionary. Like, you have all this momentum and it's moving forward, and then he's gonna spring up and kick. Like, maintaining the momentum from the parkouring over the countertop. He's gonna pivot on this foot, spring up and around, and that's gonna send him flying. Devious looking. Actually, no, from the base. Actually, if anything, I find the typical modern way that most modern cartoons do frame-by-frame animation, which is puppeting. And I find that tricky because you have to, like, work with a program and you don't, like, it doesn't always do what you want it to. And it's easier for me to just, like, you know what pose you want the character to be in. Just draw it. Of course, I have, like, 7 years of experience, so. Although I also prefer stop motion to, like, 3D CGI animation. Maybe I just like what other people think is hard. I say that with a 3D CG animated avatar. This is so I can look nice, no matter what my actual state of appearance is in the real life. See, and this is why you gotta turn off the light table every once in a while to see if your frame's weird. Sometimes it's okay to have weird frames. Sometimes you want them. Sometimes it adds to a mood. Let's see what that looks like. Because the movement of the camera is going forward a bit, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the head go forward a bit too. And this is where things get tricky, because usually what I do is I would, like, grab this with a lasso select tool and move it to where I want it to be. But I can't do that here, because it's paper. So, what I'm gonna do is, take another piece of paper, light table, the dimmer. Thank you. Draw most of this frame. Nope, not the head. We're leaving the head alone. Gotta remember that. because we're going to redraw the head where we want it to be later, after we've drawn in the rest of the frame. And this also has the added benefit of now I'll have a cleaner version of the frame. Wait, why is his hand? Whatever, it's fine. Stop motion does slap. I've seen worthy kids create a 3D animated video that replicates that style in Blender, but what makes stop motion so nice is it's handmade. Yeah, I like that. I like it like that too. I mean, I love it that people are starting to use Blender to create more stylized 3D stuff. Like, that's awesome. But the thing that I like about stop motion working at it with a medium is that it feels like you don't have to fight the program. You can just reach into real life space and move the thing the way that you want it to be moved. It's more natural to me. I am trying to learn 3D. That isn't stop motion based. And I like the style of it. The style of it is nice, but also just the process of making it is fun for me. Like, there's none of the I mean, there's some frustration, but it's a lot of, like, the fun kind of frustration, you know? The kind where it's like, okay, I have a problem. How do we solve it? And I'm good at that. I'm good at, like, being faced with unique problems and coming up with unique solutions. Like, when I made my stop-motion film in 2017, I was like, oh, I need my camera to be right here, but it's too high. What do I do? And I just used a cat tree. Which had, like, multiple levels where I could set the camera on different angles, and, like, oh, I need to put the sky up. How do I do that? Bamboo. I had these old, like, bamboo rods in my family's shed, and I was like, hey, can I borrow? And they were like, sure, just make sure that you take it down at the end of the month, because you're taking over the entire living room with this project. Well, it was the dining room more, which, who uses the dining room? Honestly, better use the space. Like, we all always eat on the couch anyway. It's fine. You can have a giant stop-motion stage in the dining room. That's more fun. It's better. Oh, this song's fun. Okay, we've drawn in most of the frame. Now, scooch the head to where we want it to be. And let's put the hat in a better pose. Okay, let's see if that reads better. Yeah! Getting there. Okay, let's flip that into the scrap frame spot pile. And bring back our big ol' set design that I made by, here's another piece of me being a problem solver. One big piece of watercolor, take a second piece of it, cut it in half, and then tape it on the back so that I have one big long piece for one big long hammer. Oh, and now we need to make this brighter. There we go. Because this is thick paper. Maybe that's that. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna have the camera move a bit slower now. Oh, where'd that darn pencil go? Oh, hello. Ha! Come to Papa. And I'm going to draw in the static parts first this time. So we've got Brutus, who's staying in the same place. We've got this curtain, which isn't going anywhere. And I'm gonna have them spring up. And you'll see a lot of modern animators go back to pencil and paper him drawn frame by frame a lot too. Like Fred, what's his name? James Baxter. James Baxter. He does a lot of pencil tests still, and you'll see it on his YouTube channel. And he was the one who did that last, like, really memorable shot of Steven Universe, the Change Your Mind special. That whole scene with, like, White Diamond and the two Stevens fusing, that, like, it feels like CG, but it's all hand done. It's all pencil test, always has been. And that just kind of blows my mind that he was able to do that. Also, Klaus, the Netflix movie. James Baxter is amazing. I love him. He's terrifying in the best ways possible. But yeah, Klaus, who also, another piece that feels like it's totally CG, right? No. It's all hand-drawn. He made a software that can gradient shade shapes, like, based on what the shapes are, and to make it look like CG, which is insane to me. Like, I use CG as like a reference sometimes, but he's doing it the other way. Like, what the heck? How? I aspire to be James Baxter. My own version, of course. I aspire to be as insane, as inventive, as wonderful as James Baxter. And also Rebecca Sugar, and also Dan Palmermeyer and Jim Swaff. And I have a lot of people who are animators that I admire. Oh, he's playful. Oh, he's having fun. Okay, chest, hips, leg. Head needs to be higher. Okay. And watch one of the breakdowns of the lighting in Klaus, straight up bonkers. That's, yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's like, it's insane to me. I adore it. Need some bigger. You know, maybe since he came in at such an angle, he should go out at an angle too. I think that's right. Actually, no, he should be starting to turn now, right? So because he does that spin kick. So he should be, the leg should be starting to unravel a bit. He should be facing a bit more forward. Ballet. Like, the matte painters from Arcane texturing characters and objects like paintings, they have too much power. I agree. I want to do that kind. That's like part of why I'm trying to learn 3D nowadays, is because I want to do that kind of insanity. Like, I actually have an excuse to. I have this this original cartoon idea called Fairy Space that I was actually, like, I'm gonna be paid to make it soon. I mean, we're making a different cartoon first, but not with Mockingbird, with the other company I worked for, Clouded Mentalities. And one of the main characters for that cartoon is a wheelchair user, and I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I do, like, these big, crazy action scenes with a wheelchair user, and that's a complicated prop, and then I realized, wait a minute, I should just do stylized 3D. And that way I can just, the wheelchair can just be a 3D model, and I don't have to worry about making all the details right on every single frame in 2D. Like I would in 2D. And I'm hoping to do that, like, kind of stylized matte painting, like, mess with the textures of the characters and of the objects and everything, and do the lighting that way for every single, you know, frame. Like, have it be 3D, but also treat it a little bit like frame by frame. And, like, have that, like, frame skipping that you see sometimes in, like in Spider-Verse, and do that, like, texture painting that you do in Arcane, and, like, you know. And I've also been learning, like Studio Orange, the people who did Land of the Lustrous, Beastars, the Trigun reboot. I've been studying how they do 3D, and they have access to 3ds Max, which I learned as a high schooler I'm not going to use. It's expensive. So I'm going to stick with Blender, but I'm going to try and use some of the same techniques that they do. Like, they even actually switch to 2D animation for certain shots, especially if it's just like a hand or something. And they draw the facial expressions on in 2D instead of messing with the facial bones. And, like, that's insane. I love that. I want to do that, you know? So that the faces are just as expressive as they otherwise would have been in 2D, only it's 3D. But, like, so you get the cool camera angles and the lighting flexibility and the, like, ability to use complex props like you would in 3D, with the added benefit of the expressiveness of 2D. And I want to try it. And it's gonna be crazy because the studio I'm working for, it's mostly 2D animators. But I'm also, like, Fairy Space, it's more than one realm, so I'm thinking Earth is 3D, and then the Fairy realm is 2D. So that the two places feel completely different. I want to have that power. I also want to learn 3D because my little sister is insane. Like, her stuff is incredible. It's crazy. And she has, like, she works with grease pencil. She does, like, all these crazy things with, like, the lighting and like, the coding, the toon shaders, and, like, it just, and she can, like, bang out a, like, really well done stylized 3D image in, like, 10 minutes. And it's crazy. And I'm like, if she can do it, she's like 8 years younger than me. If she can do it, I can too. You know? Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little. It's not like 10 minutes, it's like 30. But still, feels like it, you know? like a mix of artistic and technical skill to achieve that. Yeah, I've got the artistic skill. I want the technical skill. I need to build that. Like, you know, you gotta see what your weaknesses are. You gotta build on them. You can't just be scared of them. You gotta, like, and I was scared for a really long time because, like, I was doing a lot of 3D in high school, and then I went to art school, like college, and I saw what some of my peers could do, and I was like, wow, they're amazing. I can't do it that well. And I kind of gave up on that and focused on 2D for a while, and I'm glad I focused on 2D, because now I'm, like, really, really good at 2D. But now I'm also, like, okay, just because they can do it better than you can doesn't mean that you can't still learn to do it really well. So... it helps that I'm, like, genuinely passionate about this stuff. About, like, animation and all of the ways it can be used, and that I want to learn all of it as much as I can. And it's kind of crazy that I'm, like, because not a whole lot of people do pencil on paper 2D frame by frame stuff these days, and it's crazy that I'm, like, I'm doing that. And then I'm also learning the most modern techniques that you possibly can at the same time. You know, stylized 3D. Which is, like, people are just now, I mean, it's not just now, it's been out. Like, people have been experimenting with it since, like, forever. As long as they could. Like, we like to think of stylized 3D as a new thing, but it's not. Like, you have old school stuff, like, Bob the Builder, and, like, there's that one, Roly Poly Oly, and JoJo's Amazing Circus, that, like, did that stylized, shape-based 3D animation really well ages and ages ago. And, like, Jimmy Neutron, and, like, stuff like that. And they didn't play with the lighting and the texturing as much, but they did play with the shapes a lot. And I think that's also worth learning, you know? A lot of it was, like, kids' shows, but still. Like, little kids' shows do a lot of experimental 3D. Because kids like that too, you know? You can keep a kid entertained with something that just looks weird. And it's fine. They're just fascinated by it. Bright colors and shapes. I'm gonna take this one away. I think I'm gonna skip this song. Okay, that's better. I think this might be the song that they use in the Genesis project, actually. Or one of them. Oh, whoops. Maybe I should swap to a pencil with thicker lead. I keep snapping my leads. That's what happens when you work with 0.5 millimeters. Maybe I should swap to 0.7. Sorry if my model's glitching out a lot. I lost my headphones, so my hair keeps falling in my face, so I keep having to brush it back. And that makes my hand go over my face, so the capture software can't see my face. And it glitches out, just a bit. Hmm. Oh wait, I forgot his shoes. Actually, I think Babu Builder might have been stop motion now that I think about it. I think, actually no, they did both. They did a combination of techniques for different, like, generations of the show. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, let's see how that... Oh, that's a messy frame. How smudged that is. I might have to retrace it, but let's check how it looks in the context of the other frames. What's up with the Wish Disney film? It looks like there is line art and colors look more artistic, but it's so subtle. Yeah, the Wish Disney film is interesting to me as like a case study, kind of, almost. I'm interested to see how it turns out in the end. It looks like Disney has noticed that stylized 3D animation is, like, more popular by a lot. It's marketable, it's interesting, it's, you know, people like that style. They've noticed that, but also at the same time, they're like, they have this problem where they're not going all in on it. Like, and it's, it could be good. It could be that they haven't, like the trailers, they haven't, like, finished polishing it up yet, but there's also, like, there's a couple of awkward camera angles. There's one really good shot that I love from the trailers, where the villain is pulling out his sword, right? And there's this beautiful, like, it's expressive. They did the Gendy blur on the villain. They did the hand-drawn lines on the swish of the sword's bending with the motion. It's beautiful, and I want every single frame to look like that. And they don't. It has these gorgeous moments, right? But it feels like the film itself isn't applying that to all of the scenes from what we've seen so far. Like the more mundane scenes, like that scene that they showed of, like, the main character being all quirky and, like, doing the facial expressions in the kitchen. There's something off about the animation style there. Like, they did, like, the lighting, the camera angle, they messed something up. The weight painting. Oh my gosh, the weight painting on that girl's hair is, and I get why they did this, right? They want it to flow like magical Disney hair. But it shreds. And they're supposed to have that kind of hairstyle. You look at it, you see it, you know that it's supposed to have weight to it. And it doesn't. And I'm perplexed by that. You know? Like, you can get that magical, dramatic, flowing Disney hair with hair that has that weight. You just have to be clever with it. You have to have her, like, if she moves, anytime she moves her head, have it, like, swing with the motion of her head. And anytime that you, like, there's ways to get that without weight painting it wrong. And it's confusing to me. Anyway, I mean, I'm interested in it. If anything, it'll be, even if it looks bad, which I don't think it's gonna look horrible because some of the shots are gorgeous. But even if it looks bad, even if it doesn't push it as much as it should for all the shots, it's still gonna be a fascinating case study because it's a case of, like, Disney, right? Disney deciding, like, seeing this trend of people wanting more artistic 3D stylized animation, more expressive, more, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's test the waters. And that's going to be fascinating because their main goal is almost always to make more money, especially these days. You'll occasionally get a really, really good film like Moana, right, out of Disney these days. But a lot of it is, like, you get more artistic stuff from the indie people. And that's exciting too. Like, people are, like, there's this void that Disney has left, right? And people are filling it. Like Disney became a monopoly, was the only thing in the market for a long time, got too focused on making money and not focused enough on making stories, on good artistic stories. And now, other people, like you and me, are filling the void with our own art. And that's so hopeful to me. That anyone can do it. Almost. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what a almost post-Disney world of animation looks like. And I'm, in a weird way, glad that I get to be here to see it. At the same time, though, it's like, I guess it's kind of sad, you know? Like, big studios like Disney have overwhelmed the market for so long, since, like, the beginning of feature-length animation in general. The beginning of animation, well, not like the beginning. There was also that one female Russian animator that did the shadow puppet plays of Grimm Brother Tales before Disney did it, but even still, you know? Like, that company has dominated the animation scene for so long. And it's starting to dominate it less, and that's kind of exciting. Because we're getting more focus on what indie creators can make. I need to raise my chair. The thing keeps making me go up. Because... Oh no! Oh no, my friend! Okay, thanks. Okay. See if this works better. Yay! Isn't right now supposed to be a great time to be an indie creator? What with Glitch and others are doing? Yeah! Yeah, no, that's part of why I'm, like, hugely excited for it, you know? Because, like, I'm an indie person, and I'm seeing some of that success, you know? And, like, I'm, like, the places I'm working for are much, much, much smaller than Glitch Productions, but I also enjoy seeing... my boss is responding. Hi, Henry Mockingbird. Hi. I'm gonna read out loud what he says for the sake of the archive. Nightclub Mayhem is my Henry's short film on my Henry's YouTube channel, Laughlin. Yeah. I'm helping him make it. And that's what you're seeing now. And like yeah. Animation looks great. Aw, thanks. I'm gonna show what it looks like so far, actually. So you can see. So, because the previous shot was him spraying Brutus with the seltzer bottle off from the ground, I'm starting this next shot to maintain continuity with that. And then he kind of retreats back, stands up, and goes for it. Jumps over the counter, lands, and now is like spinning around, and the momentum of that parkour and that spin is gonna crash that foot into his butt and send Brutus flying across the room. It's gonna look so cool. Can you send some of the animation frames so I can show my other partner it? Yeah, sure, I can do. How about I do a frame capture as soon as I'm done, like, tracing this frame so it's clear. And I don't have a tripod here, so I'm gonna have to just hold the camera as steady as I can. You know, same as the GIF I sent you yesterday. And then we can recapture it when I come back. Although we should probably leave the frames at home for a little while first. Yes. Safety measures. And I'm tracing the set design onto each frame so that we have an anchor point because it is a moving shot. Oh yeah, also, the teaching me how to ink and paint thing, I was thinking that we could use that spare hour that I had saved from earlier to just do that, next time I can get a car, like, while she's still working. And I'm going to capture this shot now. And move this paper so it doesn't cover the speakers. Make a little note here, 7, question mark, 8, question mark. And let's put this away for now. And, whoa, goodness, boom. I need to charge this thing. Need to clean that frame up too. I need to make a between those two. Okay. And I'll show you guys what the process is. So I just took pictures of each one, and then I'm going to select each frame of the pictures that I made. Thumbs up to let it compile. Speed. I'm gonna make this 1 frame per second, just for now, because I haven't cleaned it yet. Turn the contrast all the way up. And now go to adjustment, edit, and make that closer cropped, just a bit. Okay, I'm gonna turn up the frame rate a bit, actually. Speed. Let's do 2 frames a second. Let's do 4 frames a second. Is there 3? Two and a half, okay. There's our sweet spot for now. And let's do 100%. And I gotta wait for the ad to go by so that it's 100% quality. And I turned down the volume all the way because I'm not sponsored by these people, so I'm not going to give them free advertising for you. YouTube has enough ads already. Reward granted. Woo! Okay. And processing. And now I have a gift. I'll show you what it looks like. And I'm going to send that to the house. But he can then show my coworker. And she's working, which is not today. Alright, now I'll keep working. All this later. We're gonna take our big ass set design. Look at all of this that we're using because it's a long camera angle. And our light table. Let's flip that back in. Goes and stick this back in where it goes. Okay. So he's here. Let's get some paper. And move it just slightly to the side. Doing a flying pirouette off the handle. Like, wow. Okay. And a bite of food. Oh. Okay. Bam! Actually, let's make them more upright. Not very familiar with pen and paper animated shots, but these are going to be scanned into the computer for coloring. My only reference is how Cuphead was animated. That is how Cuphead was animated, but we're going a step further than that. We're doing what the old school people did. We're using celluloid. Actually, no, not actually celluloid, because they don't make celluloid anymore. They call it Durlar these days, but it's basically a thin sheet of plastic that can absorb ink, and you use a pen, right? You put the plastic on top of the paper, you use a pen, you trace the lines, make them cleaner, and then once the ink dries, you turn it over, and you paint the back of it with acrylics. And that's how we're coloring. Which is insane, I know, but it's how we're doing And this is so that we can use the watercolors that I've been making too, the watercolor set designs, which you could like theoretically scan them in and put an image on top of that and all that, but that's my boss wants to do it. Yeah. No. I know. That wasn't. Yeah, it is crazy talk. But it is how they used to do it, and it is how we, for this specific film, are doing it right now. And we're doing it at a much more reduced frame rate than people usually would. Like, we're using I'm still animating the pencil tests at 10 FPS just because I like it, but the film itself is going to be at 1 frame a second for like for most of it. So there's that, which makes it easier. Where we have tripods so we can keep the camera steady. We have like, and I think we're building an optical, like one of those old machines that you'd see, like big with wooden frames and layers of glass. But I think that's, like, we're building one of those, but I think that we're not going to use that until, like, the next film. I'm skipping this song. Ooh! It helps that, like, most of the time we don't work on it. We work in Henry Mockingbird's basement of his family home, which nice studio space, you know, like, we've got windows, we've got all the technology we need to make traditional animation. We even have like an overhead projector that we use to make frames bigger when we need to. If we have like close-ups and stuff and we decide later. But yeah. And we are doing like the video editing. That's gonna be difficult. We're not going completely crazy and finding an optical. We don't have the budget for that. I'm sure Ramsey would if he had the money for it. He can't. So we're using Ramsey's phone and iPad to edit the thing and to take pictures of it. And I'm personally excited for the release of Procreate Dreams, because I think that'll really help the editing process if Ramsey's up for learning it with me. Because then we can do, like, the edits more efficiently. And we do sometimes fix the coloring with digital. Like, Ramsey will send me a picture, like, the frame, and be like, hey, we miscolored this hat, can you fix it? And I'll be like, sure. Yeah, no problem. Or, mostly it's fixing smudges. And I think I've done like 10 frames fixing like that or something, I don't know. But and actually, that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm gonna come in at some point to the studio while my coworker is working, and I have like an extra hour saved up from before, like, of payment, um, so that I can come in for an hour and learn how to do that celluloid ink and paint process that my coworker does most of, because we're running out of things to animate. Film's coming this holiday season, folks. I'm excited. Look at this mischievous little kitty. Look how happy he is. Look at how much chaos he's gonna cause. Let's see how that looks. The only reason why I'm working here remote on stream today is because I got sick. I feel fine, but the tests are still coming up positive, so I'm staying away just to make sure everyone's happy and healthy. Heck yeah. How long have we been working on this? Henry, Ramsey Henry, you wanna answer that? Because I think I got brought on in, I wanna say March? But, year-ish. And we're almost done. Which is exciting. I got brought on more recently than anyone else. The last film, the one before this one, which is a little bit less professional, but it's still, you know, it exists. It's done with the same techniques. Took like 3 years to make, I think. I wasn't there yet at that point, but yeah. I'm gonna part that. And we've got a deadline. I'm moving in the new year. So, and my boss likes having people in person. So we gotta finish this before I leave, before the new year. And who knows, maybe for future film, Henry is gonna hire me on again, and we'll do this cool little stream remote work thing again for a future project. But for now, yeah. Oh, this little troublemaker. And then wham. Okay, so now, okay. So I think that's as far as the camera's gonna go for this. So I'm gonna mark that down. I think the camera's gonna start moving back this way as he spins into the camera. So like, I'm gonna take a sip of water. And a bite of cheese. Oh, I'm almost out of water. I'm gonna have to refill it. But yeah, the more we work on it, the faster we get at making it. The more efficient we become. And there's probably going to be a break between this one and the next, like there was with the last one, because we need rest. And I've got a move to take care of, and Henry's gonna do some studying for a bit. But we're gonna stay in touch. I might come back on it, like, depending on how life happens, you know. But I'm excited for this film. It's gonna be good. It's a fun little story. It's not like anything super dramatic or anything. It's just, you know, cartoon, roughhousing and whatnot. Oops. Yeah. Also, I kind of want to focus a little bit on my other job for a bit, because I'm getting a raise in the new year for that from that one, and I'm gonna be able to make my own cartoon. Yay! Or well, I'm gonna be the showrunner of a cartoon idea that was someone else's for a bit, and then once we make like a season or two of that show, then I'm gonna get to make my show Fairy Space, and I'm excited for that. And it's fun. We've got some people who are good at Maya and Toon Boom Harmony, and you know, me and the other animation supervisor for that project both mainly use Procreate. But we've got a good diversity of skills for that project, and I'm excited for it. And wham. I gotta go. Eric just uploaded a video. Good luck physically painting frames, you maniac. Thank you, Waffleette. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever, if you want to. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you for joining me on my remote work, pencil on paper, animation, frame by frame painting journey. And have fun at the other video. Bye. Actually, I think I might go. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Well, it's more upright, this one. I'd actually take breaks soon myself. It's approaching break time. And my frames are getting sloppier. Actually, yeah, I think now's a pretty good time to do a break. Because I've been working since, what, 9 a.m.? So that's 9, 10, 11, like 9:30. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Okay. So, 4 hours. And my shift is 8 hours. So, let's take a break. I'll see you guys later. Bye!